Okay, so now it's time to take a deeper look at your environmental engineering template to determine what classes you should take this fall. So within the first fall semester, we're going to focus right here. You'll find a science class, a math class, an engineering class, a one-credit course, and also something that we call at Rensselaer Haas, which is Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Now let's take a look at these classes in a little more detail. First, we have Chemistry 1. Chemistry 1 is a prerequisite for multiple environmental engineering courses, so it is important to complete this course in the first semester. Then we have Engineering Graphics for Civil Engineering, which is your one-credit class. If you look at the footnotes, there are alternate courses that will satisfy this requirement, but this is an AutoCAD course designed specifically for civil and environmental engineers. And since it's only offered in fall semesters, I recommend enrolling in this course when you register. Next is Intro to Engineering Analysis, or IEA, as it's referred to on campus. This is the first engineering course that you're going to take at RPI. One thing to note about IEA, even though it's placed in the first semester, it is acceptable to postpone this course until the spring semester. In fact, there is one specific situation where I would actually recommend that you postpone IEA. Student feedback surveys indicate that some prior knowledge of Physics 1, Physics 1100 is helpful when navigating IEA. So if you did well in physics in high school, took AP or IB physics, then I absolutely recommend you enroll in IEA in the fall. But if you feel less than confident in physics, it's perfectly acceptable to substitute Physics 1 in place of IEA in this first fall semester. I also recommend we take a math class. Calculus 1 populates this specific semester, but if you have AP or IB credit for Calc 1, we would resort to taking Calc 2, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Lastly, I recommend that you take a Haas class in your first semester. In this guide, there's a segment that discusses all of the Haas requirements, and it is required that you take an IHSS prefixed course, as you'll see here, within the first year at Rensselaer. So you can read a little bit more about that and complete it in the first semester if possible, because it'll offer you more flexibility later on. Now, as I mentioned before, a lot of students will come in with AP or IB credits, so let's talk about what you would do if you have those. If you anticipate bringing any credits to RPI, you will find yourself moving through the curriculum a little faster. I'm going to discuss a couple of scenarios and offer suggestions on what to register for if you have credit for the courses listed on your template. Generally, I print these out and cross off the completed courses, and you can do the same or use your computer editing software to highlight completed courses. So for example, if you have credit for Calc 1, we're going to cross that off, and then you would enroll, as I mentioned before, in Calc 2. If you've already completed Calc 2, then we're going to move down to this third semester math course. Math is the prefix, and you would enroll in differential equations. As I mentioned before, if you have Physics 1 credit, definitely enroll in IEA in the fall. If you have Chemistry 1 credit, you have the choice to enroll in Chemistry 2 or Biology to satisfy your first science elective. But Chemistry 2 isn't offered in the fall, it's only offered in the spring. So you can enroll in biology to fulfill this requirement and take Chemistry 2 in the spring as planned. So I think that's it for now, but if you have any questions that go beyond this brief overview, please don't hesitate to contact me. And if you find yourself registering for classes that you're unsure of, you can always email me. And there's times to make adjustments at the beginning of the semester, so that's not something that we need to stress about.